Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
Call yourselves Title Town? Are you kidding me?
That's fraud.
It feels like a gray area.
Spoiler alert, Canada. Cup's coming back to the US of A.
There's way too much negative stigma attached to strippers.
I hate you guys so much.
My dog just shit his ass.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday night. That means it is time for another edition of Craft Brewed Sports. I am Mike. With me, as always, is Scott. Scott, what's going on, man?
Training camp has started, and the trade deadline is in our rearview mirror. We're heading upon the best time of year.
Yeah, the heart of the PGA season, baby. Let's go.
Live Golf Tour in full swing, baby.
Are you feeling okay watching the NFL? Because I feel dirty. After this week, I feel dirty.
I've felt dirty for a few years now.
Okay, so it's just that this hasn't pushed you over the edge yet.
No. I mean, it ain't my team. That's what I figure. My team's dealt with their off the field arrests and front news shenanigans. Like it ain't my team. So
that is the best take of just like, man, that ain't my problem. I don't know. You guys got to deal with that stuff. I'm gonna watch my boys over here. We're gonna be just fine.
Yeah. It's a shame what they're doing in Cleveland, though. I can't believe you'd support an asshole like that. It's a tough thing to do. I don't know how you sleep at night, Cleveland. Good for you.
This one's for you.
Selling your soul. It's big business these days.
No Mookie this week. Caesar, how you feeling, man?
I'm hot as fuck. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm back at my parents' house in Laredo, Texas, for you Ohioans or whatever y'all are called.
Ohioans or whatever y'all are called.
It's 109. It's fucking hot. I'm not trying to look like a dick. It's just bright as shit. But my dog of the week with the F1 hat, Oscar Piastri, fuck Alpine.
Can we get a hat description?
Oh, so I got last year, thanks to my parents. I don't know where we got the money from, but they sent my brother and I to F1 GP weekend in Austin. So I got this as a memento, and it's arguably my brother and I greatest weekend ever. So it's a heartwarming hat.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Okay. All right. There you go. By the way, Mookie's in the comments saying, oh, shit, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, bro. Some of us are here to do our jobs.
Mookie.
Snap. The intern flexing.
Caesar, this is your shot. This is like your time to step in and take over.
I like the Caesar's like, I'm not here to look like a dick, but I'm here to make comments like one.
That's been my quota since day one, guys.
Oh, that's amazing. By the way, Scott, Matt Barr said, Mike, did you just ask a guy wearing a Cap jersey if he feels dirty about watching the NFL?
That's America's hero.
I mean, you know. I reconcile things all the time. I
didn't even think about like the fact that you're wearing
this was 100% intentional.
Yeah, that was me. That was me totally whiffing on
you OWG'd that shit.
Oh, I OWG'd the hell out of that one. That makes me feel terrible. We got an awesome show for you guys tonight. Hailee Murphy, the new lawyer in Tennessee. The last time we had her on, she was still in law school. She has graduated law school. She passed the bar. She's officially a lawyer. So she'll be on to talk this Deshaun Watson stuff with us. We're going to get a check-in from Joe Hall a little bit later on. And then who knows, maybe a white motherfucker question for Caesar. I guess we'll see. Because we didn't plan on that. I totally forgot about it. Let's talk about these beers that we're drinking this week, though. And as always, give us the rating scale. Scott, would you bang your beer?
Yeah, I'd bang my beer because it's exactly what I said would happen last week. I would not remember until today. Oh shit, I don't have any more beer left except for the last couple of 2 a.m. booty calls that I keep in the garage. They just got on ice a couple hours ago. Yeah, I'd bang this Bud Light. I mean, who wouldn't? It's got barley, malt, rice, and water. It says so on the can. They tell you the ingredients. 4.2% out of St. Louis, Missouri. This is definitely a bang. I've done it before. I'll do it again under the cover of darkness. This is the slut buster. It's food life.
I love that you gave the ingredients like you were reading a normal craft beer with the rice bar. That was well done. Very well.
Thank
done.
you. Thank you.
Caesar, what beers did you steal from your parents at your parents' house?
Oh, sir. See, the thing is, I was in Austin, which is a lot better for craft beer than fucking Laredo, Texas. So I bought ahead. I planned in advance. So,
Wow, you taking shots at me too now, you son of a bitch?
no, it's called leaving Austin, Texas for Laredo, Texas. There's not much going
But
on
also,
here.
that was a good shot at me, even if it was unintentional.
So this week, I'm becoming like a martini, a Martin House Brewing Company stand. I'm gonna call myself a martini. I'm drinking Tiger Lily Mango Sour with honey and vanilla, 8% ABV, made for Texans. I'm made in Texas by Texans. I'd fuck it.
You realize that's the second.
I'd fuck it.
You realize that's the second time you've messed up their slogan. You cannot get that slogan right. Try it one more time. Or not. Okay, good talk, Caesar. Thanks for that.
I changed my hat to say Texas on it. Made in Texas by Texans.
Okay, there you go. Well
is that
done,
like
man.
is that like the Texas version of Fubu?
I guess. I don't know. Fubu was hot back then, no? Like in the 80s?
In the 80s? Get the fuck out of here!
You son of a bitch.
You son
Did he just say Fubu was from the 80s?
He said it was hot in the 80s, not even that it was from the 80s. Like, it would have had to have been created pre-80s to then be hot in the 80s.
I want a Gucci sweater so bad.
Wow, brutal, man.
He's filling in well for Mookie, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is. Robert Taylor in the comments, he said, for my birthday, I'm drinking Dogfish Head's Utopia's barrel-aged worldwide stout, 17.2% Geneva stout, brewed in Samuel Adams Utopia barrels. Caesar, how you feel about Robert Taylor's birthday? Oh, okay.
Happy birthday, Robert. Congrats, man.
Robert
Take
came
this lot to
through
get to your
again in
mild
the
age.
clutch. This time adding Patty Mahomes' wife to the presented by. How CBS fans feel when it's Robert's birthday. Happy birthday, man. Thanks for always chiming in. We appreciate
Happy
it.
birthday, Robert.
Jared is drinking Blue Point Toasted Lager, and tomorrow he's having another cigar from Caesar.
That's my guy.
And then Matt Barr.
Flowers for Algernon. Cigars for Caesar.
Matt Barr he said he's in the same boat as Scott. No beer today. So for Robert Taylor's birthday, he's drinking Elijah Craig Old
Look at this
Fashioned.
fancy
11 out of
motherfucker.
10. I know, right? Who's making old fashions out of Elijah Craig? You guys
Right.
get some crappy bourbon for old fashions. You're mixing up Elijah Craig neat. That's how you drink Elijah Craig.
Yeah,
Neat.
yeah.
Don't put it in
Old-fashioned.
old
Putting
fashioned.
bitters and cherries in your shit. Come on,
Is
man.
that a country singer?
Yes,
Oh
it's a
my
country singer. This week I am drinking Phaedrus. I don't even know how to pronounce this, man. There's way too many letters in this name. It's from Culmination Brewing, 6.7%. It's just an IPA, another dad pop. And yeah, I'd bang it. It's a solid brew. Let us know in the comments what you guys are drinking and whether or not you would bang them. Find music. There we go. All right, let's talk a little football here, fellas. We'll hold off on the Deshaun stuff until Hailee's able to pop in. But Scott, you mentioned training camp starting up. We are a day away from the Hall of Fame game. Like, the NFL is back. It's football season.
I did not know that the Hall of Fame game was tomorrow until about an hour ago. I had no idea. I was like, holy shit, it's tomorrow already?
Fair me either.
Whoa.
I didn't know that was going on.
Wait a second. Tank just put up a comment that just shook me to my core because it always sneaks up on me. I always forget it. But it's not just NFL
I
season.
saw this last week.
Pumpkin beers dropping this week. He wants to know, Caesar, that's an adorable dog. He wants to know what we think about Oktoberfest and pumpkin beers dropping this week. Look,
It's smoky.
it always sneaks up on me when August hits. I always forget to start looking for pumpkin as soon as August hits, and then it's gone, and I'm so pissed off.
I don't forget. It's always I'm walking through the grocery and I get to the beer section and I'm like, what the? Oh, it is August 1. Silly me for being
Dude.
shocked about the fall beers. already being on the shelves.
It always seems like it's way too early, but then I have that first one and I'm like, oh no, this was good. This was
I never think it's too early. You know me, I'm good for a pumpkin beer just about any time of the year. But finding them and the good ones are two different things.
Right. That's a very good point. Caesar, have you ever had a pumpkin beer?
I haven't. I was gonna ask which ones should I look for.
Oh, you're in Texas. You got St. Arnold's. That's the one you need to find right there.
Okay.
St. Arnold's. They make.
Was that one of the ones we couldn't get for the pumpkin beer bracket?
It was one of the ones that we got from Tavor, and it shook us to our core because we were like, I think.
Oh, because we were cheating on fucking
Yeah.
Well, is that the one that
Money Blake?
I was gonna say that Blake really hyped up. Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, now Tank's got me excited for pumpkin beer season.
Now you've got me. 'Cause I'm like, damn, I forgot that beer was so much like better than we thought it was gonna be. Like, God, that was a really good beer.
St. Arnold blew me away. There were a couple that really surprised me that I was good, and I will stay firmly in the camp that Warlock might be better than Pumpkin.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, I think we made that decision after having it on the show, because that was my first time ever having Warlock was on the show, and it's just like, damn, I do kind of think, like, you know, when you can combine 2 seasons, pumpkin and stout, you motherfucking hitting the home run, G did. Like that is king shit right there. Nothing like a hot ass summer day. Like Caesar's down there at 109. It feels like 109. You need to crack you a pumpkin stout. Nothing will cool you off and refresh you quicker, motherfucker.
Caesar looks like he's gonna be sick thinking about a pumpkin stout. He looks like he's about to throw up. Like
a 10%er at that, an imperial pumpkin stout.
10%er was it? That was the big.
Yes.
10%. I mean, the pumpkin is 8, but that Warlock stepping it up just a little bit. Tank, I thank you very much because now I'm fired up for pumpkin beer season. I need to.
Does 903 make one like a pumpkin beer? Because
here's the thing about pumpkin beer: everybody makes a pumpkin beer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
everybody. It's like seltzers. Everybody got in on that shit.
But I don't know if they all still make it though, right? I don't think.
Well, it's not whether or not they make it; it's whether or not you can find it. Because they'll put out like a 6-pack and be like, "Oh, we're done for the year." Like there's a pumpkin beer supply.
903 makes one called Imperial Pumpkin Sasquatch.
That sounds
amazing. Well, it's 903. Everything that 903 makes is
it's fucking good. And at HEB, oh shit, I'm not even fucking there. At HEB, which is my grocery store, dude, the 903 beers that they've had, like not one has missed. They've all been amazing.
I'm looking at 903's page right now, and there are so many beers that I want in the worst way. There's an orange creamsicle beer.
I looked for that one because it was there one day, but it was gone as I got out of my shift.
There's a cotton candy slushy. Okay, I'm okay. I can focus. Java.
Is that a sour though?
Yeah, it's a sour.
Java. I'm all about trying sours. I'm just all about fresh sours. I can't get these sours mailed to me, and because it's like if you they're the one beer that if you let sit there for way too long, this one's good. 100%.
Sours are the avocados of beer. You need to get it at the exact right moment. If you
got to drink it right away. Right away.
Tank pointing out your beer palate doesn't care what time of year it is, how hot it is. Stout, endless summers.
And chase it with a fancy Bud Light.
All right, we are going to welcome in our first guest of the night. Again, I mentioned at the top of the show, the last time she was on, she was still in law school. Since then, has graduated law school, passed the bar, the newest
the official lawyer of the show.
Hailee Murphy. Hailee, how you feeling?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Your camera's frozen, Hailee. We're getting no video from you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Let me see.
There. Oh, well, and then she's gone. We had her for a split second. She was there for a split second and then disappeared. That's all right. She'll be right back. Robert Taylor, by the way, saying always stout season.
Right. It
Coming from the man that's drinking 17%ers at all times a day. And Jared saying, I don't know how hot of a take this is. I hate pumpkin beer. Don't mind Oktoberfest. Hailee, we can see you now. How do you feel about pumpkin beers?
Oh, I hate anything pumpkin.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
not a fan.
No.
This does not start off well, Hailee. It started off very poorly for your second appearance on the show, and I'm very disappointed in you. That's okay. It's, welcome back. It's super exciting to have you on again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're officially a lawyer now. Officially passed the bar.
Congratulations.
We've got to make the distinction because apparently it matters. I'm a lawyer because I graduated law school, not an attorney yet because though I took the bar, I don't have my score back yet, so we don't know.
But we know you passed it. So, okay. So you're an attorney. We got it. Matt Barr, by the way, Hailee, you're earning fans. He said, Hailee for the win. Pumpkin is the most overrated flavor.
Shut your
100%.
face, Matt.
100%.
You're no pumpkin anything. No pumpkin beer, no pumpkin spice lattes, no nothing.
No. I'm good with my regular iced coffee from Dunkin'. Don't put none of that pumpkin spice in front of me.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get this back on track because now I'm disappointed in you.
More
I'm trying to control my rage. We wanted to get your opinion as officially a lawyer. We wanted to get your opinion on this Deshaun Watson situation and everything that's come out. So for those of you that don't know, Deshaun Watson has gone through the process with the NFL and NFLPA. An arbiter has ruled on the case, found that he was guilty of sexual assault, and has suspended him 6 games. That just came out this week, today from Adam Schefter that the NFL is going to appeal that. So then it gets to go to Roger Goodell to determine the punishment. But Hailee, am I out of my mind for thinking 6 games is far too light of a punishment for this?
No, and I think you'd be in the majority, right? I think a lot of people are enraged. But after reading the opinion from Honorable Robinson, it makes sense, at least to me. What we hear and what we know sounds egregious and it sounds insane and it sounds horrendous, which it is if it's all true, right? But again, we don't know all the facts, and the NFL only presented 4 cases, well, wanted to present 5, but was only able to present 4 cases to Sue Robinson. So 6 games for 4 cases doesn't necessarily scream to me, this is so low. In the grand scheme of things, sure, 100%. But with what was given to her, to me, this seems right.
Have you looked into it all why the NFL only submitted 4 cases and why they only brought 4 cases? Because it seems like I think you're right. That's where everybody is having trouble reconciling this because they've heard all along 24 women, and then 6 games. And they're like, what the hell is that? That's insane. But if it is only 4 women that have been part of this and the arbiter's only allowed to look at what's in front of her, then of course that's less egregious. But why would you only present 4 cases?
I think a lot of this is just speculation. No one really knows. You can kind of look at it one of 2 ways. You can say, well, maybe the other 21 cases just weren't strong enough. Or maybe the NFL thought that these 5 cases were enough to get their indefinite suspension. We don't know because we don't know all of the facts, right? We don't know really anything other than that there's 24, right? So I think to make an assumption of why is a little bit reckless because we don't know.
Hailee, you crossed your fingers about passing the bar. You are speaking like such an attorney at this point. You're like, it would be reckless. We don't know. The facts are, you got to judge on it. Like, it is maddening how good you are at this because you are just right down the middle with it. It's driving me nuts. You mentioned you read the opinion from the arbiter. What stuck out to you in that opinion?
So I actually really liked it. I think she did a really good job reconciling both sides and the issues. To me, it seems like this was a punishment not only for Watson, but for the NFL too, right? So we're going to suspend you, but we're not going to suspend him for the amount that you want because you can't do this the right way. You didn't do this how you're supposed to do this. And I liked it, right? Like, we kind of got the best of both worlds, at least for me. I was like, sure, let's suspend them and, screw the league because they don't follow their own rules. So I liked it. And I thought that was kind of what the most important thing was. But I also think that people aren't understanding this isn't a finding of innocence or guilt. It's literally just a dispute of a contract, right? It's literally just an employment dispute. And so people, I think that a majority of people aren't understanding that, and they're taking it as if this was in a court of law. He was found guilty of sexual assault. That's not what this is. He violated his employment conduct policy, and that's all that this was.
Well, yeah, you're right, and it isn't, you know, any type of civil case or criminal case. So to say he did it, but wasn't there something in the like one of the charges that was brought was that he committed sexual assault. So by the arbiter saying that yes, that did happen, and yes, you also violated the NFL, you know, the code of conduct policy, then it stands to reason that people would be like, okay, so he did it. Like a judge found that he did it. It might not have been in a criminal case or in one of the civil cases that were brought, but a judge did say, yes, evidence says you did this. So I think that's why people are making that leap and maybe incorrectly making that leap. But that verbiage was in there, right? Am I going
correct?
Right?
Yes,
Okay.
But the difference here, though, is it was a different standard of proof. It was a lower standard of proof, and there was no set definition of what sexual assault was. So Sue Robinson had to use what the NFL investigators described as sexual assault, which is, I believe, unwarranted sexual conduct with another person, which is analogous to, say, Texas law. But again, this isn't the law. This is just a definition that the league put in place. So it's very, very different.
Scott, I loved your reaction as Hailee was talking about how it's a punishment for both of them, because that was exactly what you wanted. You wanted that in the worst possible way, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I said that pre-show we were discussing it, and it's like, basically, she just threw this back in the NFL and said, your policy is dumb. You guys don't even know what you're doing when it comes to this whole thing. You're trying to act tough because of the public outcry, but here's what you're allowed to do based on your own policies. Now face the backlash based off that. I kind of do love that.
Yeah. I love it too.
Hailee, as she's wearing her Browns fan. Now I'm on to you, or her Browns hat. I'm on to you now, Hailee. You're like, listen, I think it might have been a little harsh. I feel like he probably should have been back for that Preseason game.
So the question is, though, how do you feel personally about this whole situation as a Browns fan, as a lawyer, and as a woman? Like, that's the big three here, like checking all those boxes. Like, what is your opinion of the whole thing?
It's been really hard to reconcile those three different opinions, because in each position I feel differently. As a woman, I feel disgusted. As a Browns fan, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed that the Browns would put their organization in the forefront of something like this. I'm annoyed that we just came off of a dramatic season, and we're going into another season with full drama, and I'm just done, right? But then as a lawyer, I see, like, I get it. I understand, and I wholeheartedly agree with the 6-game suspension. I don't think that there should have been an appeal today, and I don't think that there should be a lawsuit filed further on by the NFLPA.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, because so the NFL has appealed, which based on the CBA, now it goes past this arbiter, and now it just falls on Roger Goodell's desk to issue out whatever punishment he sees fit. And the only recourse is the NFLPA would have to sue, right, to try to block that. So what do you make from, like, the legal perspective of Roger Goodell making that move to say, all right, well, this didn't go how I wanted, so I'll just do what I could have done under the past CBA anyways?
It's a little... why? It just seems like we're wasting time. We're wasting resources. We wasted a former federal judge's time, right? It just seems we're just dragging this out. If you wanted to do what you wanted to do in the beginning, you should have just done it. But at the same time, the NFLPA did agree to these terms beforehand, so they kind of have to, eat crow too and follow through what they said that they, were going to do. So I don't know. It's kind of strange, but at the end of the day, this is what everybody agreed to. So here we are. We can't change it now.
Do you think the NFLPA was actually hoping for an appeal on this one so that they can sue and make Roger Goodell defend his actions or non-actions against Robert Kraft and Daniel Snyder and compare that to what's happening now? Like this, it feels like they have so much leverage in a lawsuit.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw their statement on, what was it, Sunday? Before the suspension even came out, they were like, we're going to accept the suspension. But like 2 or 3 days before that, they came out and said, we're going to file a lawsuit if it's appealed anyways. So they've said their stance and they've said their piece. So this was very foreseeable. So I think that they're absolutely hoping that Goodell is going to impose an indefinite suspension. They're going to try to take this to a federal court.
By the way, Tank said, for the rest of the season, I'm just going to show people this clip when they ask me about this. Hailee, you killed it. See, I told you, this is why you shouldn't be worried about passing that ball. You got this.
If only all of the subjects on the bar were as enjoyable as the Browns.
Are they enjoyable though? Are they? They seem to give you a little bit of strife here. Like,
my life will be ending early because of them. They have taken a lot of years off of my life, that's for sure.
How do you think they're going to do this year? I mean, you got 6 games with Jacoby Brissett, who is a horrible Twitter follow, but you've got Deshaun coming in for the second half of the season. Like, you feeling good about your team?
I think we can win the division. I think Jacoby can go 4-2 in the first 6. I think Deshaun's going to come back week 7, and we're going to mark my words. Mark my words.
The Bengals fan showed so hard on Mike's face. Like, I've never seen Mike turn that quickly about one of his teams when somebody said something against him. That was fantastic.
It's only because I'm not used to having a team do well.
I know. That was the thing. I'm like, I've never seen that look on your face where you're disgusted. You're like, hold on a second. My team's good enough to actually do the thing you're suggesting that they won't.
Robert is calling you out, Hailee. He said that is the most Browns fan answer ever. It does also feel like something we've heard from Browns fans like every year since Baker was drafted. So
absolutely, I'll take full responsibility for that. Absolutely.
And Tank said classic Browns preseason fan optimism. That's how you know you're a true Browns fan right there, Hailee. That we're winning the division. I think Jacoby can get us to 4-2 in the first 6 games. There's a conspiracy theory that this was all part of it. Like you mentioned that the judge punished both the NFL and Deshaun Watson in this one. There's rumors out there, and people looked at the schedule and were like, that's why she did 6 games. The NFL screwed up by setting the schedule where the Browns only have 1 division game within those first 6. So she suspends him for 6, and he doesn't even miss most of the important part of his team's schedule. Do you believe the conspiracy theory? You think maybe?
No.
Come on, Hailee. You got to be a little bit.
No, you think that judge is sitting up there looking at all this evidence and then pulls in the Browns schedule for the 2022 season, and she's like, all right, let's see. Can't go to week 7 because they're going to play the Ravens. Can't go to week 8. No. Better things to do.
No, I hope we find out that she has Deshaun Watson in a long-time keeper league and that they're all in a big setup. And she's like, 6 games sounds about right. That won't ruin my season. I mean, the Browns. I mean, shit. This is despicable.
I love the visual of her getting like a Cleveland Browns magnet schedule to look at. She's like, got to get him back before Monday Night Football. All right, 6 games it is.
That would be awesome.
Hailee, this is the stuff you got to start investigating as a lawyer. You got to think of every angle. You have no idea what the opposing side is thinking. So maybe there's a little something to it.
Maybe the NFLPA will put that in their lawsuit. I don't know.
Well, they're not mad at her. They're fine with her. They're just mad at Goodell.
Shows inconsistency, right?
That's a good point. Okay, so let me ask you this, because obviously you said based on the 4, it's fine. The thing that stuck out to me in this opinion was the judge said that based on precedent, she could only go up to 6 games. but then went on to say later on that this was an unprecedented situation. So how does that work from a legal perspective of you have this precedent of only being able to impose this punishment, but then there's this unprecedented thing? Like, where does the line break to where you can then say, okay, this doesn't matter anymore. What happened before doesn't count because this is so far and beyond past that?
So I don't think that that's ever a possibility. I think judges always have to look at precedent from all sides, and precedent can be precedent for the slightest thing, right? It could be because he was a quarterback, so we look at only other quarterbacks disciplines, or because it was sexual assault, so we look at only sexual assault discipline. But here, I think that it would have been more detrimental to the league to impose a rogue sentence without looking at anything that they've done previously. So from what I understand, she kind of had to reconcile the 6 to 10 game suspension that's usually given to violent sexual assault charges or assault behavior, I should say. And those players, I think, had multiple victims. There were multiple different instances, and there were actual criminal charges pressed. Whereas for the previous sexual assault misconduct that was non-violent, only 3 games have been given. And so because we're kind of in the middle of this was non-violent in quotes, because, we can't have any definitions because the NFL doesn't know how to define anything other than, targeting. I think we kind of have to look at those two and intertwine them, right? Because that's technically what we have. We have something that's so wild that could fall in the violent category, but it wasn't physically violent. So she had to kind of emerge those, right? So I think 6 games was the equalizer in that aspect.
I love the idea of the judge putting in the opinion something along the lines of, you guys can't even define what a catch is. How are we supposed to go off of what you say for a punishment scale?
Right?
That would be absolutely amazing. Hailee, what else is going on with you besides now you're a big shot lawyer, about to be an attorney? What else you got going on?
I'm just enjoying life. For the first time in 3 years, I am not doing anything other than what I want to do.
That sounds amazing. How do you make money doing that? Because I would like to learn.
I write on the side. I do, content and stuff. I get paid through that. But I also, while I was in school for the 3 years, I was working, so I was able to save some money to allow myself a couple months off and, not worry about anything. So I kind of planned for this because I knew that after the bar, I would just be mentally and physically and emotionally drained.
What was it like taking that bar? Like, take us through that day and how you're feeling. You sit down, like what types of questions were you asked? How intense did it get? Were you near a breakdown at any point during the test?
Yeah, so it was 2 days. So actually it was last week. It was last Tuesday and last Wednesday. So it has been officially 1 week since I've been free. So Monday night before, I was so fine. I had no anxiety. I was like, it is what it is. Woke up that morning. I was fine. The first day is 6 hours. So the first 3 hours are 2 essays, which are kind of like practical essays. So you can write memos, or you can write opinions or persuasive briefs. You don't know what you're going to get. So you write 2 of those for 3 hours. Then you have a little break. And then it was 6 essays after that for another 3 hours. Those essays kicked my butt. I will say those were the hardest essays I have ever had to complete in my life. And I know I wasn't alone. I was looking on Reddit and stuff, and people were complaining all week. I was like, at least I'm not the only one. And then the next day was like 200 multiple choice, again, 6 hours, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the night. The last day after, it was kind of easy. I kind of just was like, I'm ready to be done. How fast can I answer these 100 multiple choice questions?
You're just like, fuck it, I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna pick C for everything, and eventually
it got to a point where I was like, all right, these both sound correct. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay.
I can't wait till you have to admit that to a client. Be like, listen, I passed the bar by 3 points, only because I got eeny, meeny, miny, mo right on 4 of the questions on day 2.
So when do we get to see you on the the Saul Goodman park bench ad? Like, I defend scumbags and the Cleveland Browns. I can defend you too.
I think it would be absolutely on brand for me to have advertising that includes the Browns. I think I'd be doing the world a disservice if I didn't.
Yes, I need one of those local attorney ads featuring.
She could get into Berlon Kaiser and Alensic Associates and sue the NFL.
We'll let you borrow the wig.
That is such an inside joke that nobody gets. All right. Anyways, well, I'll send you the video later, Hailee, and you'll see the ridiculous.
I was funny because I was gonna make a reference. I was gonna say I know a couple of guys who produced a commercial. If you need some help, and then I was like, nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. You're like one person in the comments knows about our skit.
Hailee, now that you're a lawyer, you're officially an authority on this. What is the best lawyer movie that's ever been made, and why is it My Cousin Vinny?
It's absolutely My Cousin Vinny.
Yes,
it is absolutely My Cousin Vinny.
Yes, I was very worried you weren't going to say My Cousin Vinny, and you were going to laugh at me for that choice. But that is
no
lawyer movie.
You will not find a single law school who has an evidence class that does not play, or like a civil procedure class that does not play the clip of the girlfriend on the stand being an expert witness about tires. It is so awesome. It is so good.
Liar is more my speed.
No,
that's a good one too. That's a good one too.
Not as good. Not as good as My Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny's unmatched though. Absolutely.
Caesar, you came off mute. Do you have an opinion on this one? You've been sitting there quietly with your dog this entire time.
So I've been chilling because
movies I'm in.
Wait, no. Okay, look. So my parents have a pool. Where they got the money for a pool, I don't fucking know. I have an 05 Civic. Anyways,
now I see where they got the money for the pool.
all right, thanks.
Boom, lawyer.
All right, thanks. Anyways, the pool guys came because they're building a restroom in my backyard. Again, where the money came from, I don't fucking know. I drive an 05 Civic.
I like that they're building a restroom.
So I have people coming in and out. And I didn't want to ruin her train of thought because I was also very intrigued into what was being said. Because I'm a dumbass. I just go off of what I Google, like, section 14.2 of the NFLPA, whatever the fuck. And I understand it my own way. So I wanted to learn. I said it, I wanted to learn. But I have a question.
Oh, we messed this up. We should have had Caesar give his opinion first and then let
him. No, you're forgetting. I got 2 universities.
Give your professional opinion on the situation.
Would have been a good opinion. Let me rock. Anyways, so as Robert Taylor likes to, not Robert Taylor, as the fans of CBS like to bring up, I said on one show that being that I graduate college like next month. I said it wasn't as harmful to get a DUI out of college as it was during college because I don't have to worry about financial aid. So may you please instruct me on how bad a DUI is post-college? What exactly is so bad about a DUI post-graduation?
It goes graduation distinction on the Dewey.
Because
do you like having a license?
You graduated.
I was just worried about financial aid. I don't want to.
I don't think he's worried about his license, Hailee. I don't know if you know this. He drives an 05 Civic.
You guys saw my windshield last week. It was gone. I drove around with glass in my arms.
I guess in your case, it doesn't even matter.
Are you older than your car or?
Barely. My car came out in 03. I was born in 01 or no 2000. I was born in 2000.
I like how you got your own birthday. You're wrong.
Look, bro, it's been a lot.
Hailee, that was a statement that Caesar made. I don't know if you want to give any law advice to any college students that might be watching this, but is it okay to get a DUI in college because it doesn't really matter?
It's not that it doesn't matter. It's just okay. I paid for college by myself. Like I had to maneuver all these different ways. I had to find this money.
Congratulations, join the club. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say you're.
So, I I had to get financial aid. If I didn't get financial aid, I wasn't going to go to school.
Yeah. Okay.
Just,
keep going. Keep going.
So every year on the FAFSA shit, they'd ask me, "Have you gotten a crime before? Because you might not be eligible." Well, fuck no. I wanted financial aid. So if I ever did get into a crime, I wanted to be sure if it wasn't one that fuck my financial aid.
Your justification for getting a DUI after you graduate is strictly for financial aid?
Yeah. I'm not gonna go out to a club and be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get fucked up." You know what, guys? The club's not ready for me. I'm gonna get a DUI tonight. No, I'm not doing that.
Parents, I'm good.
I'm not doing that. I'm just saying I think it's more harmful to get one while you're in
Guys,
college.
don't worry about it. I'll drive tonight. I graduated yesterday.
No.
I feel like Hailee right now is like, there's absolutely no way I'm going to go into defense law because I don't want to deal with people like this my entire
No,
life.
it's not people like this. I never said I was gonna get a DUI. I'm just saying it's worse to
That's
get
what I'm
one
saying. She
as
needs
an
to be a
undergrad.
Better Call Saul type lawyer so she can deal with stuff like this every
No.
day.
Where are you going, Smokey? It's better to get one after college than it is to get one during college. That was my only take. That's my only take. Am I going to get one?
I think it's better
No.
to just not get one.
Exactly.
Lawyered. Yeah, Whitey had that one as well. You could just not get a DUI.
Yeah,
I was going
agree
to commit
100%.
murder, but then I thought twice about it because I hadn't finished it. And I got to fill out that FAFSA next week. I'll hold off on that murder till next semester
Look,
ends.
A lot of responsible decisions were made because of that FAFSA form. So
Thank God.
let's
I
just
like
think.
that that's what the government did to keep you in line. Just send them a FAFSA. Dangle money in front of them for a certain amount of time.
Dangle money in front of a poor college student, and I promise you, they will be great people of society.
Caesar Tank says you're going to have a breathalyzer to start your car and a diploma by 2023.
If it starts, if
Tell
my
him-
car even starts.
Tell him if he waits till after graduation to shoplift, we'll buy his books too.
No, I did that as a 5-year-old. I got like banned from Walmart apparently.
Of
I don't know
course
how
you
true that
did.
is.
Should have waited till after you graduated. It wouldn't have been so
It
bad.
didn't matter then. Financial aid wasn't in the like it didn't matter.
See, so you lied on all those FAFSA sheets, and did you ever committed a crime? You son of a bitch! Now you've committed a federal crime. You were
Look,
screwed.
You just lied on a federal document, Caesar. That's a big
as
problem.
someone-
That's way
It's a DUI.
It's not a DUI. It's not a DUI. It's a Snickers bar.
You
from
should have just
HEB.
gotten the DUI.
It was just my take, and this take became something I got so convoluted
The
into
law
something else.
doesn't play fuck, marry, kill when they dole out punishments. They're like, well, we'll
Look,
eliminate
bro.
this one because
That was my take, but then it became, Caesar thinks you can get a DUI after college. No, I don't think you can get one after college. I'm just saying it's cheaper to get one after college than it is during college. That was my only take. How I got to that take, I don't know. Ask the two.
I
bald
don't
people
know
above
how
me.
you get to most of your takes.
I don't
Caesar.
put-
I have
I
no
don't
idea.
put it on
It's
a
a
sliding
winding road
scale.
of craziness.
I actually have
What
a
was
real
your
question,
question for Hailee? Okay,
though.
what
It
was
was the DUI one, and I got told not to get one. I have a real one though. Oh my god, I'm becoming Mookie.
it is. You have become Mookie, and Tyson in the comments said getting a DUI after college, dog.
That's not a dog, bro. And I hate that I look like such a dick too, because the fucking Hawaiian shirt and the hat.
I missed Tank's comment earlier where he said free to 2 Utes.
My question was, being that do you think the Honorable Judge Sue Robinson considered the punishments to Greg Hardy, Ray Rice in this decision? Because as you said, it's not those cases themselves weren't
Under this current CBA.
Yeah, under this current CBA, and they weren't sexual assault; they were domestic violence. So that was kind of if that went into play into her decision making on the 6 games.
I honestly don't think so, especially because she hammered down on precedent that would have no bearing on precedent. That's not the precedent that she's looking at because it wasn't under the current terms of the CBA. So I don't think so. I think it was mostly just the recent instances that the NFL has investigated.
Cool.
She looked
Thank
at
you
your
so much.
boy. She looked at your boy Zeke. How about that? Yeah.
Bro, he didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. The texts were there. He got blackmailed. He didn't do shit. The star's right there. Everything I do is for that star.
No, I mean, apparently everything you did up until you graduated was for the FAFSA.
No, yeah, that's true too. If anyone deserves Dog of the Week, it's me. I just don't give myself my own award because I have integrity.
We're gonna let you out of here. Before we do, though, with the NFL appealing this, the NFLPA likely is suing in federal court. How does this end up? Where do we net out on all of this?
I think that if the NFLPA files a lawsuit, I don't think a federal judge is going to touch this case. Courts, and specifically federal courts, don't like to dabble with CBAs because the contract, right? CBAs are usually well thought out. They're integrated, they're sophisticated legal documents, and judges don't like to mess with that. And I just kind of think that the NFLPA and Watson have a weak case. So I think it would be stupid. I think it was stupid for the NFL to appeal this case, and I think it would be stupid for the NFLPA and Watson to appeal and file a federal lawsuit. If it goes to court, I don't think that a temporary restraining order will be granted. So I think that whatever suspension Goodell hands out will be what actually happens until the case is resolved. But like I said, I think the first motion to dismiss that the NFL files, a federal judge will grant, and I think that whatever suspension Goodell hands out is the suspension that we're going to get.
So with that being said, if you've got this written into the CBA where these will go to an arbiter, in a sense, trying to neuter Goodell's power, but he's able to override the arbiter anytime he wants by appealing to himself and issuing a punishment. And you said that a federal court will likely try to stay away from it because it's a CBA negotiation thing. Did the NFL checkmate the NFLPA in this one? Because Goodell can do whatever he wants. He can pick and choose at this point, where if he doesn't want to get the blood on his hands, he doesn't want the public outcry, he can go, sorry, the arbiter did that, not me. I'm sorry. You got your issues with them. Or he can go, the arbiter didn't do enough. I'm going to be the one that really does what's right by our fans and crack down. Like they've checkmated the NFLPA, essentially.
100%. Don't agree to terms that you're going to dislike when you actually have to apply them, right? This is wholly on the NFLPA. It's your fault. This should never have been agreed to in CBA negotiations. So now you got to deal with your consequences.
Too bad they went all Apple licensing agreement, and they were like, "What? Did we get guaranteed money in our contract? Yeah. Scroll to the bottom and click yes, we agree. Fuck it."
100%. 100%.
This is the exact result of that.
I have a question.
That is the best way to put that. That's amazing. Yes, go ahead, Caesar. You have
it's not football related
question.
though, so if you have any football related questions, I prefer you ask them first.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so recently, actually yesterday, I'm a big race car fan.
Are you asking Hailee legal advice again? Is that
No.
Oh,
It's a real question. It's a scenario. It's a real thing.
It's a scenario.
No,
Listen,
it's not a
Hailee, I have
scenario.
a friend.
It's a Formula One question. Do I need to show the hat again?
No, just ask the question.
So, yesterday, Oscar Piastri, he's a reserve driver for Alpine Racing, whatever. Apparently, his contract ended July 31st. And then on August 1st, Alpine put out a statement saying like, oh, this guy's got promoted, specifically promoted to our starting roster. And then 3 hours later, the driver Oscar then posts on Twitter like, you're dumb. I'm not driving for you guys, and I'm not going to drive for you next year. And then it's then come out that he's apparently has a deal with McLaren, and that it was signed at 12:01 on August 1st. Is there any way that this is going to end up going the legal route because there possibly was tampering in this situation? That's my kind of question. I
Not
guess.
slowly, Robert. Not slowly at all.
Caesar has gone full Mookie. It's full Mookie.
It's just because it doesn't make any sense.
So, Hailee, let me summarize that very long question for you.
Was there a question in there?
Yes, there was. I said if there was tampering involved, can they go to upper law?
There was a contract that you've never read that you have no details on.
And then July 31st. And then 12:01 on August 1st. I got a proof for the new one. But at 12:01, that doesn't make any sense.
What I'm going to say is we just saw what happened with the Dolphins and Tom Brady, right? I think you could kind of, if there's some tampering involved, something like that could happen. But if there wasn't, it was signed after the employment contract expired. So unless there was no like non-compete clause, he's free to do what he wants.
Okay, sick. Awesome, thank you. That's all I was asking. That's all I was asking.
I'm glad you brought that up, Hailee, because I was going to ask you something about the Stephen Ross thing. For those of you that don't know, the Dolphins, because of the Brian Flores lawsuit, it became known that the Dolphins had tried to get Sean Payton and Tom Brady to the Dolphins. They had met, tampered essentially to try to get Brady and Payton in. Stephen Ross was fined. They lost draft picks. He's been suspended. Why has nothing happened to Tom Brady, Hailee? Like, he's the other half of the tampering. He was at these meetings too. How does he skate while Stephen Ross gets suspended and fined and loses draft picks?
It's Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right.
It's Tom Brady. There's no other. That's it. It's Tom Brady.
Goodell's like, I blew it with that whole Deflategate thing, so I guess we got to let him slide on this one.
Yep, it's Tom Brady. He's untouchable.
That's the greatest legal opinion I have ever heard on this show is because Tom Brady. I would love to see his lawyer stand up in court one day and Mr. Brady, you've been accused of murdering children and a nun in an orphanage, and the lawyer just stands up and he's like, Judge, it's Tom Brady. Case dismissed. You're right. That is Tom Brady.
The Tom Brady defense.
Oh, there we go. Kev's got the answer. He said NFL rulebook says players can't get punished for tampering. That's amazing.
Interesting.
That's absolutely amazing. Hailee, where can people find you? Where can they follow you on socials?
You can find me on all social media at the Hailee Murphy. I'm everywhere and anywhere.
Everywhere and anywhere. I love it.
And she'll defend scumbags like you.
Did you point at me on purpose? Bro, are we forgetting I went to UT?
Hailee, thank you for the legal advice for our intern. Come back again, okay?
Thank you. It was
Thank you for having me.
Right,
Hi, Hailee. Congrats
Hailee
again
Murphy.
Congratulations.
At the Hailee Murphy.
Okay, I wanted to drop just before when she was like, oh, judges don't want this to come across the desk because they will want to change anything. And I was like, hope it doesn't end up on the desk of Clarence Thomas then.
Oh, facts. Fuck that guy, bro.
Clarence be like, ooh, thank God.
No, Clarence be like, ooh, time to change something else.
He's like, ooh, is there a union to be busted? I'm the man for the job.
He's like, I seen all the white women them players is marrying. I'm going to get them good.
No, that's the one thing he's not going after.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he got a problem with that, too.
He can't. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he self-hates, my friend. He self-hates. He's like, there shouldn't be no interracial marriage. Don't pay attention to what I do. We gotta stop this.
By the way, Tank pointing out that Caesar officially has Mookie pox. Robert said we gotta call him the Caesar Express because he's derailing this show.
No shot. None
and
whatsoever.
then Dan pointed out in the comments all of the Michigan people we were just talking about with Stephen Ross and Tom Brady, and he did the trending down emoji that
the stock dropping.
Yeah, Michigan to a T.
Can we talk a little college football since we didn't
Let's
get to
fucking go?
He switches hats.
It's so weird without Mookie here asking me if I played the intro, not realizing that I played it 35 minutes ago. So thank you guys for not doing that. Listen, we talked about this last year. We were saying that it is ridiculous that we have writers and people vote on the top four for the college playoffs when we need to just go to Vegas. Vegas that needs to be who decides who is in the top four in the college playoff rankings every single year. Vegas is always right. They always get it right. Sure, they might lose a game here and there, but that point spread is always within like a point of how it actually ends up. It's amazing to me that they always do this. So this season, we are going to update our top. We'll do top 10 because it's way too much to do top 25 rankings. But we're going to do the top 10 teams based on the wise guys in Vegas. And in this case, it's actually DraftKings. So here we go. The preseason wise guys top 10 college football playoff rankings. I feel like we need some music for this, Scott. Let me find some music.
I haven't seen this either, so my reactions will be very on.
It'll be accurate. Okay, here we go. Number 10 in the wise guys top 10 college football playoff rankings is Texas.
Let's fucking go. Let's go, Smokey.
Texas is a plus 5,000 to win the national championship to start the year at DraftKings. That's amazing to me. Like, why? Why is Texas at plus 5,000, Caesar? Yeah,
Xavier Worthy, Bijan Robinson. If I had a mullet, I'd be like stroking it in the air right now. Q the Fool, Quinn Ewers, Steve, the former alcoholic Sarkeesian. He's off it now. We're sober. Fuck you talking about? We're only going to lose to Bama and Oklahoma State and Baylor, and that's it.
Okay, so that's out of the college playoff ranking. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
but we win Big 12.
Then you would lose 3 games, and you're all
Bro,
pumped.
lost to Kansas last year.
I know.
All I've known is disappointment my entire life as a Texas fan. So if we win 9 games, I'm chilling. The next year, with Q's second year, fuck it, playoff. And then Archie comes in, red shirts, another year of Q, we're done. We're done. We're fucking back. I just pulled my shorts.
Are you back like Tiger Woods is back, or?
No, bro. You know what it's like? You know when Tiger, like, he cheated on his wife and shit, and then, like, a couple years later, he won the Masters? And he won the Masters a couple years later? Like, that's Texas. Like, we're going to be back.
Oh, and then everything fell apart even worse after that.
No.
Check in on season. Oh, yeah, there it is. That's how Texas fans feel when Archer's a bust. Right there.
Bro, Gabe's a fucking Notre Dame fan. Good luck with your independent money, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Gabe saying
SEC.
Kev said, imagine being happy at not being top 4 while Texas has fallen off.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do against Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia? Like, good luck being not one of those 4 teams.
Number 9 in the Wise Guys top 10 preseason college football playoff rankings, Notre Dame at plus 4,500.
Oh, wow. So much better than us. Wow.
It's a better odds to win than you've got. You're a longer shot. So.
And remember, we're going off of what Vegas says. So Vegas thinks that Notre Dame's better. We listen to Vegas.
They just picked Notre Dame with a first-year quarterback, or a first-year head coach and a quarterback that we don't know who's going to start week 1, and they said that's better than Texas. How's that feel,
bro. Texas won 5 games last year. The fact that we're fucking at 10 is shocking to me. I don't know why Texas is getting ranked. We should be unranked. So the fact that we're 10 to Vegas, I'm solid. I'll take it.
It should also be noted that Vegas loves to take people's money. So when Texas fans see Texas at 1,000, they're like, give me 500 on Texas. And
lucky
Vegas
for them, I'm broke.
Texas knows their fan bases.
Facts.
Notre Dame is the most overrated team ever.
Facts. They have gold helmets and everyone wants to fucking nut all over the computer screens.
Number 8, Michigan plus 4,000.
They lost their whole defense.
I want to talk about one of the most overrated teams ever, Michigan, coming in at plus 4,000. But this is according to Vegas. Look, they get it right. Vegas knows what they're talking about. Plus 4,000 for Michigan. Number 7, Oklahoma, also at plus 4,000.
Can we make sure we keep these top 10 rankings from before the season starts that one and see where they end up at the end?
Oh yeah, I'm
see how wrong Vegas is.
Yeah, I'm already planning on tracking this week by week. I will probably keep track of it. I think I'm going to be writing it on Belly Up as well. So we'll keep track week by week.
They lost everyone.
Number 6, Texas A&M plus 2,500. Big jump there. Once we get into the top 6, Texas at plus 25. Texas A&M at plus
that big Dick Jimbo energy.
Well, they're paying all those recruits. Of course, they better be up there in the rankings. This is Did you see, speaking of that, did you see Congress has decided they need to do something and set some guidelines about NIL? So they have turned to Senator Tommy Tuberville to write the NIL guidelines.
No, I didn't see that. Are you kidding me?
No, not kidding at all. The only coach of the last 20 years who was not able to win at UC is going to be determining NIL guidelines at the federal level. Oh my God, it's going to be such a dumpster fire. I can't wait.
Good Lord. Why can't we just rid ourselves of Tommy Tuberville? Like, why can't he just go away?
Dude, he's going nowhere. He is firmly entrenched now in that Senate seat. There's no way we're getting rid of him. Tommy Tuberville is going to be like Strom Thurmond. He's going to be 190 years old, still being a complete douchebag in Senate. That's how that's going to go down. Tank says Double T can't read. Kev pointed out Aggies 8-4 record incoming. Also, yeah, it is that.
I had to take off my hat to make this point because I can't be doing my school dirty like that. But I actually think the Aggies have an outside chance to make it into the playoff. Because last year when Haynes King went down, and they also have Connor Weigman, who's also like super nasty. So, and Nia Smith didn't get suspended because of his arrest. So, I mean, the Aggies should be really good this year.
What that dumbass do? Get a Dewey before he graduated?
Yeah, he had a gun on him too, apparently.
Oh, Jesus.
You know you can't go full dumbass.
Yeah, and then they have Evan Stewart, who was the best receiver last year. So the Aggies might be a really good value to make the playoff.
Guys, I need to find new music for this. I need some like Italian music in the background, something that you would hear.
Yes, you do.
In like a deli in New Jersey. That's what we gotta find for now. I'll find that for the next rankings. Number 5, USC plus 2,500. Lincoln Riley heads west and comes in at number 5. Again, there's a lot. Vegas likes to make money. Look, and there's a lot of
real quick. Now you've thrown me off. Because now I keep seeing these 1920s gangsters in this hardcore rock playing, and nothing's fitting here. Like, you're right, this isn't working, and now it's bothering the shit out of me. Thanks.
I think Utah's the favorite.
Like, could you imagine these Chicago gangsters walking up with their Tommy guns to this?
Dude, I'd be scared to death if that's what they did. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would be in the 1920s because I'd be like, holy shit. Here come a bunch of coated white men with Tommy guns, and there's strange music, I guess, playing. Yeah, I'd be deathly terrified in the 1920s. Now, in 2022, if I saw this scene, I'd laugh. A lot. Like, look at these assholes with Tommy guns and trench coats walking up with death metal playing. What is going on right now?
Okay, well, let's workshop some other sounds we already have loaded, okay? Let's see if anything fits better for you than this one. How about this one?
I mean, it's better.
It's definitely better. Okay, we can't do this one. This one would be a little awkward.
No.
Some CBS theater in there?
Yeah, no.
How about the old Degenerate Dartboard Doom music? Do you remember that?
Oh, I forgot about this, but again, it's them walking up to hardcore rock. Like, it just doesn't work.
Can't give it the conspiracy theory music. That's not going to work. Hot Takes Barbecue. That's the one. We'll just do this. All right, here we go. Moving on to the top 4.
Here come the wise guys.
They're all just wearing Hawaiian shirts and cargo shorts.
And breaking fingers.
All right, top 4. Here we go. Your top 4 wise guys. Top 4 college football playoff rankings preseason. Number 4, Clemson at plus 1,000. No surprise there. The Clemson would appear in the top 4. Number 3, Georgia at plus 400. Number 2, Ohio State at plus 300. And number 1, according to the wise guys.
Oh my God, it's a shocker of all shockers.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it myself. I am surprised by the odds here, but it's Alabama at plus 175.
I'm surprised if I'm just like Alabama plus 1.
Alabama even money. Go.
Yeah. I'll give you nothing for picking them to win it all. You get no points, no credit.
So I think out of the top 4, okay, I gotta turn off this goddamn music. I'm sorry, I can't do it. That was
pretty grating.
We could have done this. Maybe this one. This one's a little too sexy.
I can get you like a Mexican trap one where they talk about like cocaine and shit if you want.
Have Gold Tech lay down a beat for us for this.
I can ask him.
Let's do a Gold Tech beat for this. We need something. Anything surprising to you guys about these rankings?
That they didn't figure out some way to make Ohio State number 1, like some rule, some loophole that they could make Ohio State 1.
Honestly,
I mean, this isn't the NCAA, so I know they're not standing that hard. But I know that's the. You want to talk about conspiracy theories? There's always somebody trying to make sure Ohio State's number 1 somewhere. Some organization is out there making sure Ohio State's
even
number
the
1.
Vegas mobsters are like, listen, guys.
Yeah,
they trademarked the word "the," so we gotta put them up there, right?
The wise guys all graduated from the, so.
Oh man! All right, well there you go. Those are your top 4. I am interested to see how this plays out throughout, because if this works out, if this comes to fruition, I really will be advocating for Vegas to just do the rankings from here on out.
But
I
also,
don't want anybody else to do it.
Much like when we do, our NBA conversation. So it's like Alabama national champ. Okay, cool. all of those rankings and all of the pluses and minuses so that Alabama can win it all. Cool, got it.
It's just going to be Alabama's crazy defense against Ohio State's crazy offense in the Natty.
Yeah, like we've seen like 15 times over the last 20 years. Cool.
Listen, Ohio State isn't making it because Notre Dame's going to beat them in week 1 and essentially eliminate them from playoff. Hold
on. The funniest part there is not Notre Dame beating Ohio State. The funniest part is them being eliminated from playoff contention in week 1. The idea that we just mentioned it, that Ohio State in week 1 would lose to anybody. I mean, Ohio State goes out and loses to Michigan in the last game of the season. They're like, well, we found this old rule on the. I don't know. We're just kidding. We totally just wrote this new rule on the book. Ohio State's in the Final Four. Like, they don't even try. They're not transparent about it at all. So it doesn't matter. Ohio State could be 1-10. They're like, on paper,
it's a tough conference. That's why USC and UCLA wanted to join.
It's all the mental prep they've got from the Big Ten shifting and everything. Like, let's put them in the Final Four and see what they can do. Let's just see what happens.
Caesar, what is happening over there, man? You guys, the guys building the bathroom, having a party. What's going on?
That's exactly what's going on. There's saws and all this shit going on. But I mean, hey. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I feel terrible.
Caesar's dog just looked at him the same way we look at him most weeks. What the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, I feel terrible. So I feel so bad.
All right, those are your college football rankings, preseason rankings. I'm gonna update those. That's gonna be super funny. Maybe I'll do it on the show. Maybe we'll do it as a separate thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But ladies and gentlemen, now joining us from somewhere in Iowa, hopefully with good Wi-Fi signal, Joe Hall across the country. Joe, how you feeling, man?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm in a lot of pain. Not a lot, but I'm in enough that it's annoying.
What's happening with the pain? What's going on, man?
It's just the same stuff, man. My labrum, whatever that issue is, whether it's hip flexor or labrum, it's still not getting any better. And I've got some kind of tightness in like my hamstrings or calves because I stretch all the time. So that, and I'm probably not drinking enough water or eating enough. So it's all kind of compounding. It's probably been the roughest, like pain-wise, the roughest week I've had so far.
It's also the hottest week you've had. Like you're walking in 100-degree temperatures, and how's that hitting you, man? Are you making
that part hasn't really bothered me. I mean, I walked through a little bit of a thunderstorm today, about 15 minutes, and it was really just hard rain. Like I didn't even see any lightning. We had thunder, but no lightning. But other than that, I mean, the heat is what it is. It's not. I mean, I've worked outside. I've done concrete work, so it's, you know, it's nothing I've never dealt with. You know, I've been doing a pretty good job of staying hydrated, as far as not getting dehydrated. But I'm still probably not drinking the amount of fluid I should.
All right, you got to fix that, man. We should probably work on.
I mean, do I?
Listen, don't worry so much about fighting
I.
raccoons and shitting in cornfields, and worry about drinking some water. Let's check your progress. I updated the map today, so let's go ahead and check to see where Joe's sitting at currently. As you can see, still firmly in Iowa. We're making our way through. Let's zoom into the Iowa map and see exactly where Joe is. All right, almost to Ames. Joe is almost to Ames, Iowa.
Being attacked by monkeys.
Shot.
Those are raccoons.
They look like monkeys.
One raccoon showing his butthole to Joe. Another one's hanging out with him. Another one's trying to punch him in the face.
I'm just glad that he's made it past the dick leg.
He's past the dick leg, and he's also past the cornfield with the shit emoji in it to signify his lactose intolerance.
Also, I wanted to mention this last week, but of course Mookie started yapping and it got derailed, and I was like, moment is past. But your clip art, your Joe clip art there, if you split him in half, he looks like he'd be talking like Saddam in South Park. Like, he looks like his mouth would split in half when he speaks.
Hey guys,
I'm walking across the country, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, friend.
I'd like to donate $25 to your cause, pal. I'm not your pal, buddy.
Fantastic.
Joe, which people that you've come across from which state are they most like Canadians? Is it Iowa? Because you've had some run-ins with the law since you've been in Iowa.
I really can't. I don't think anybody has come close to Canadians. I think the Iowans are just kind of bored. So, and I mean,
wait,
like
what run-ins did you have with the Iowa police?
I mean, you know, not the same type that you would probably have.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was like, hold on a second. I think you're all right, but I'm curious. What were they harassing you for?
One call was somebody thought I was pushing a child in the stroller alongside a busy road. So a sheriff came up and so I was like, do you want me to open it up? He's like, well, yeah, if you don't mind. I'm like, well, yeah. I was like, see there, you'll see some toilet paper and my clothes and
no baby
and no baby. And then
because I launched that shit into the cornfield as soon as I saw you coming.
No, the craziest part was like literally like 30 seconds or a minute before that, I was doing my patented hamstring stretch urination on the side of the road. And I was oh my God, did this dude just somehow from like 500 yards away with a sniper scope catch me dribbling on the side of the highway?
Can you place the camera in such a way so that we can see this hamstring stretch urination pose that you are doing on the side of the highway in Iowa?
He's looking around.
No, because if I give it away, then anyone that drives by will know what I'm doing. And I'm in the police station, so there's not really anywhere for me to.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Probably good. Yeah. Wait, you're in the police station?
Yeah, they're letting me camp in the training room tonight here.
Oh God, I thought it was going to be in a cell. I thought they were going to let you camp in a cell, and you were going to have to spend the night in jail.
I was like, could you guys delouse me? That way, I don't have to take a shower. Just spray me down with the hose. But it would be like Farva on Super Troopers, and they're like, it's powdered sugar. It's delicious.
All right, so that was one time when they thought you were pushing a baby. What was the other time?
And then 2 days later, after I'd left the hotel, I was walking through like a bunch of like gravel road up and down, like, you know, back roads to get to the next town. And a sheriff from the next county over pulls up, and he was like, yeah, I just got a call that, somebody said you were suspicious. And I was like, you think?
I'm white.
But yeah, I was like, no, I'm just walking across the country, and this is the way that Google told me to go. So I get it. I mean, like, fat guy pushing a stroller down the middle of nowhere where I might have seen like 6 cars the entire day. I could get how that might look suspicious.
So you're being racially profiled.
I was just gonna say
Yes.
the good news.
I mean, I am
is
getting
the
pretty
difference
tan.
Yeah, the difference is I'd have 6 bullet holes in me now. You just got questioned. So there's that.
They rolled up
I had like 3.
They rolled up to Joe and like window down. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Hey, when you're done pissing on that cornfield, can you come over here and talk to me real quick? Just got it.
With Scott.
Somebody
with Scott,
said
the
you had a
SWAT team would
baby
come
in
out.
there, so I just wanted to take a peek in there. Can I just see? Thanks. All right, you on your way, Scott.
The
If it
minute
was
I
you,
crossed the Iowa border, there would be a police barricade waiting for me. Welcome to Iowa, boy. This is a sundown state, motherfucker.
you better get to stepping. You
You got a long way to cross, you son of a bitch. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, there was no baby.
No, they would have.
Let's sprinkle a little crack on him, and then we'll be all right.
Yes.
There would have been a baby found near the scene if it was you, Scott.
Yeah,
He would have there.
He was endangering a child. We had to put him down. You see how hot it is out here? Oh, this motherfucker thought he's gonna get away with walking a kid out in the hot sun. We taught his ass.
Oh, this racism is killing me inside.
Yes,
I gotta pull it. I gotta pull it. I've just been laughing too hard. I'm sorry. I'm been delayed.
Race card.
Race card or the truth. Yeah, both come at you fast.
You know what? You guys both deserve it. Oh God, that was amazing. All right, well, where do we go from here, fellas? Joe, all right, so you've had the cops called on you. Any other raccoon incidents over the last week?
Or any animal in general.
No, not at all. I think the raccoons let out the message that I was not to be fucked with, and they put it out. They put out the message on the raccoon Facebook page, and we're like, no, man, don't fuck with this guy. He will make angry noises in his tent and scare you away.
They're typing. I was up all night hissing at that motherfucker, making sure he didn't come over. I was just trying to keep his head. All right, so no animals. Any? You've sent me pictures where you got chocolate milk at one point at one stop.
Again?
Do I have to?
You know
stay
what?
away
Look,
from
I
corn this
was
season?
not feel like I needed something because I hadn't had a lot to eat that day, and in my head it's like everybody, chocolate milk's supposed to be good for recovery. Didn't even think about it. Bought 2 chocolate milks and chugged them, and then I'm like, well, this ought to go well. Surprisingly, no shits. None.
Wow.
So maybe I should just live on chocolate milk and then eat cereal with chocolate milk for the rest of my life.
I don't think
Borden
that's
has
a good idea.
one.
Like don't crack in milk either, huh? I like it.
Caesar just said Borden has a good one. He threw out a Borden commercial in the middle of that, like, boom. I don't know.
I mean, if you're looking
Borden
for
has a good
brands
one.
of
Promised Land has
chocolate
a good
milk,
one.
I got you.
Is there a
Yeah,
bad
Promised
chocolate
Land has a
milk?
good one. Yeah, there is. I've had.
Oh,
well, the one at
Fairlife.
school was shitty.
Fairlife milk is disgusting. Chocolate, regular, all that stuff is awful.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I was even cool with Yoo-Hoo. It wasn't even chocolate milk.
Yeah, but
it was just
Yoo-Hoo's
chocolate
gas.
water.
Yoo-Hoo's good.
don't. It's,
Yeah, Yoo-Hoo's gas. Fairlife is ass. Oh, that rhymed.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah,
No,
Promised
stop.
Land's a good one.
Stop and take.
I'm just
We hit-
witty. What can I say?
trifecta.
Sorry.
We hit the trifecta in this segment. Yes, thank you, Mookie. Mookie Jr.
Oh, that's
for
disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
Joe, you're almost to Ames, Iowa, which is like halfway through the state. You're going to be hitting that Friday or Saturday, according to the press releases that were sent out to the news stations.
The press release.
Yeah,
I've got
Joe's
a hell of a PR. I got a hell of a
Yeah,
PR
I know.
guy.
That's dope.
Joe's PR team is working overtime trying to get some airplay here. So Ames, Iowa. So if that puts you halfway through the state, like Saturday, we got what, like 2-3 more weeks until we're out of Iowa?
Oh, no. I'll be out of Iowa in like 6 days.
Wait, what?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, hang on.
I Google mapped like the distance to Omaha, like 2 or 3 days ago. It might be a week. I think whenever I Googled it, it was enough mileage to be 10 days worth of walking. But it was within the last week.
So you're telling me with these raccoons chasing you and that shitty cornfield behind you, you're going to be halfway through the state as of like Saturday, and then the rest of the state in a week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Joe. No wonder why your labrum's hurting and everything else is hurting. You're fucking running the country. You're Forrest Gumping this shit.
No, but look at it this way. Like, look at it this way. From when I hit Davenport to right now, I've also had 2 days off where I accumulated 0 mileage.
Oh, that's a good
And then
point.
one day, I only had an 8-mile day when I went to Mount Vernon. So I've had 2 0 days and a short day. So
I didn't consider the days off to go to the Field of Dreams and to go to the wrestling museum. How was the Field of Dreams, by the way?
You know, they've got this plan up. Like they've got a plan of what they want to have that place look like 2025, and it's gaudy. And I don't like it at all. Like they're turning it into a full like commercialized like complex. But I think even with the
Oh no!
Damn it, Joe!
Let's try this again. I had a phone call.
Oh, good. And Caesar froze too. I thought it was me for a second because Joe dropped.
I think it's the police chief. I think it's the police chief here because I had asked him about a shower. No, even the MLB park looks out of place up there. Like, I mean, I get it. Like they, you know. I like the movie set portion. I don't really vibe with all the extra stuff. And like what they're going to end up doing with it is having like 6 little league fields put in. Then you'll have the major league field and all the other stuff. So it's, again, I'm not a huge baseball fan, but like I love the movie. I even told my dad, I was like, once he gets out of the hospital and gets healed up, because he's back in he was back in the hospital. He's out again.
Shit.
I told him that next year, because I don't think I'll be done with the walk in time this year for us to make the drive, but I said next year we're going to go out and we're going to play catch in the outfield. Because that was the one thing that was really kind of cool, was like seeing all the parents playing catch with their kids and stuff like that. And I guess my sister said he like cried the entire day trying to tell her that that's what we were going to do. So I was like, that wasn't the point. I didn't want to make him cry. So then I felt like an asshole. I mean, I know it was good cry, but you know, I didn't want.
Way to go, you son of a bitch!
Yeah, you dick. Just shitting on your dad's cornfield of a heart with that one, you asshole.
That's
making
crazy,
dreams come true. What a dick move.
How dare you? How dare you make your father so happy he cries tears of joy? You are such a piece of shit.
What a selfish bastard.
You're a piece of shit that it only cares about yourself walking across the country to raise money for mental health and to donate to Run a Mile for Jackson. Like, that's it. You're a despicable human being who only gives a shit about yourself.
Dude, last 2 nights ago, this was to flip it back in a complete non sequitur to a serious moment. We had I was in Belle Plaine, which was like 2 towns over, and there was a family there. And I don't want to like give out too much because I don't want him to like if they're watching, because I did plug the show this week for you. I did plug the show on the walk page. So I don't know. There might be like 24 people watching tonight. I don't know. But, I met this guy's wife at the car rental place when I went to go see Field of Dreams, and we got to talking about what I was doing. They drove, I don't know the exact distance. It was probably at least a 45-minute drive just to drop off like Gatorades and some Propel and stuff.
Oh,
and he wanted to
badass.
And he wanted to talk because he struggles with like anxiety and depression, and then also with panic attacks real bad. And he's been seeing a therapist. He actually drives, like, I think he said like an hour and a half each week to go see the therapist because she moved offices, but he wanted to keep with the same person. But he took me over to this little cafe in town because one of the firefighters wanted to buy me dinner. And so I was like, would you guys mind dropping me off? He said, no. And I got ready to get out of the car, and he's like, look, I don't get starstruck. He was like, but you're a hero to me. And I was kind of like, I don't know how to take that. Like, as somebody that literally looks in the mirror and sees themselves as the biggest piece of shit in the world, like, I still have trouble processing that because, you know, they're like, you know, firefighters are heroes, like soldiers are heroes. I'm just I'm just a dude that's walking for something he believes in. I don't know how to, I don't take compliments too well anyway. So it was one of those things where it was like, man, is what I'm doing actually, is it working now? Like, is it making a difference to people? And I guess, like for the first time, like I've had messages from people, but nothing to like that, to that level, like it's a weird experience.
Joe, you are a fucking hero, man. Like, as much as you don't want to hear it, I don't think you realize the inspiration that you are to people. Like, the Crap Root Sports Group.
I obviously didn't inspire Scott to buy a t-shirt.
Oh, you have, my friend. You have. It's coming. Don't you worry.
He's got to just keep up the bit at this point, Joe. He can't cave.
I was gonna say, I'm way too committed now.
Or he'll buy the shirt and then like send an email or a message like, "Hey, don't tell anybody I bought the shirt, but let's just keep the bit going until you're done."
No, I'm gonna keep it all the way. I already told Mike what's happening. Don't you worry.
Robert said he just came back to the computer. Good to see you, Joe. Looking jolly as ever. And Matt Barr wanted to point out, Joe, you're welcome for his service. So there you go.
Thank you for buying a shirt, Matt Barr. Unlike Scott.
It's my favorite part every time Joe comes on.
Hey, Caesar. They're only $25.
Caesar drives an 05 Civic, Joe.
Yeah, you missed the first half of the show, buddy, where we broke down my financials, and the reason why I've been avoiding a DUI is because I needed financial aid.
Yeah, you missed that gem.
So
completely ignore the legal aspects of a DUI or anything like that. It's
we
completely
know.
about the financial aid.
There's a lawyer that was sure to point that out to him. Joe, so I know we missed the goal in July for donations. What's the goal for August? We got a whole month to pump it hard.
Oh, fuck, it's August.
He said pump it hard.
Thank you.
The goal is all like each month. It's always going to be to get there. I just, with the pain and stuff that I've been having, and like kind of like the struggles walking, I never really thought of a challenge to do for it, because I wanted to keep it something like, mildly funny, to keep that aspect, the humorous aspect to it. But I can't repeat the same challenge because we didn't meet that challenge. So, and I'm not shaving my beard because some people have recommended that, and that'll never happen.
Okay, let's brainstorm some ideas. I got one for you. You have to do an entire day on the walk with no shirt on and a happy face painted on your chest.
That won't work for me because of my complete lack of self-esteem. So that would
you're gonna be in the middle of Nebraska. It's only gonna be 6 cars.
Probably end up with me in a worse mental spot than I was after the motorcycle accident.
All right, I'll brain some for you.
I thought about doing like a dumb TikTok duet. Like if we raised X amount of money per week, like I'll go on and I'll literally duet some dumb song, or maybe even not a dumb song, maybe one that I like actually enjoy, just to embarrass myself with my lack of singing ability.
TikTok duet some of those dances that they do. Like you got to do a TikTok
I'm not that coordinated, man. Like in high school, I could do that because I had 4 years of show choir training.
People want to see that.
People don't want to see that. They don't want to see that at all. They don't want to see it.
They do. Okay, listen. I'm messaging you tomorrow. We'll figure
some crazy person.
Steve-O? No, we don't want Joe stapling his nutsack to his ear or something like that.
No. My stomach is too big. I can't bend that far.
Yeah, Preston. He jumps off of like cliffs and shit.
To donate to Run a Mile for Jackson or to help Joe out, haulacrossthecountry.com. That's the website you want to go to. Click that donate tab, help Joe out. Also, Joe, I decided I'm going to start bringing this up too every time you come on. The Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, 988. It's so much simpler now to get help if you need it. 988. It's not a crazy number to remember. 988. If you or anybody you know is having thoughts of suicide, is in a time of crisis, hit up that crisis lifeline, 988. There are people that are willing to help and listen to you. That's probably one of the coolest things is them changing that recently and getting rid of the crazy long 1-800 number and going to just an emergency.
The one thing that was kind of cool, the police chief of the town I was in last night that let me stay indoors at their place, they have a thing set up now for their fire department and their police where it's like peer support, where certain people can get trained to support the other firefighters, police station, EMT people when they're struggling with their mental health, because they lost a firefighter to suicide like 4 or 5 years ago. And nobody really knew he was struggling. So they went in and did this, and then they got trained to train more people. So it's opened up a lot of doors for them.
That's badass. That's really badass. All right, listen, Joe, we're gonna get out of here because I just realized we're over time already. So
shit.
hang on while we close out the show, and then we'll talk to you afterwards. Okay, so just hang on, don't go anywhere. Scott, real quick before we get out of here, what were you drinking tonight, and would you bang your beer?
I'm banging my Bud Light. 2 a.m. booty call forever and always.
Bud Light.
You up, Bud Light? You up? Yeah.
What were you drinking, Caesar? Would you bang it?
I was drinking Tiger Lily mango sour with honey and vanilla, 8 ABV. I'd fuck it.
I was drinking Phaedrus from Culmination Brewing. Look at that. How do you pronounce that, right? Phaedrus? That's the best I got.
Phaedrus,
I got 6.7% ABV IPA is what I was trying to say. Yeah, I'd bang it because it got me apparently feeling really good. Joe, any good beers this week on the trip?
I had an A&W root beer for dinner.
Counts. Would you bang it?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
Would you bang it?
Man, this has been a ridiculous show. It was a good time. We got very serious with Joe. It feels very off-brand for us, but it feels like it works, right?
Yeah, you got to mix a little bit of that in every now and then.
Yeah, this was a damn good one. Shout out to Hailee Murphy for joining us earlier at the Hailee Murphy on Twitter, Instagram, all over the place. Joe Hall, as always, checking in. Go follow him on Twitter. Hall Across TC on Twitter. Subscribe to his page on Facebook all across the country. Follow along with his updates. Go follow us too at Crafty Sports on Twitter and Instagram. Like the show on Facebook. Subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe and review wherever you get your podcast. Shout out Belly Up Sports, bellyupsports.com. Always great content there. Go hit them up. We will see you all next week. Cheers, everybody.
This is Sundown State, boy.